Okay, we have another Twitter thread featuring Paradise Paris again, right? So, here we see a tweet. We have a lady here. She says there is no reward for loving men at their lowest. And Paradise Paris replies, "Love shouldn't come with a reward." Now, I know it's a simple tweet, but this is the problem right now, especially with dating in general, particularly with BWs. I'll say we already know. I already know a woman like this. When you have a woman make a tweet like this, she is messing with a pookie, a unemployed pookie with with uh maybe strong D game or whatever, or he has stamina, but he does nothing else. And she paid for she'll pay because, like I said, women will pay for broke Pookie and his child support and all that stuff and all that. And Pookie will do what Pookie does and get another woman pregnant while being in a relationship with her or whatever Pookie does, and then they will come back with a tweet like this. Now, women will take this tweet and just be like, "Oh no, I would never build with a man," quote unquote. But ironically, this is what I've been trying to tell dudes: women don't really like you for you, even when they're quote unquote, settling or going below their standards in their mind. They believe if they settle down and if it doesn't work out, they'll be like, "Oh, I tried to love a man when he was broke and it didn't work." What do you mean it didn't work? He seems to be doing fine. This is the problem. What do you mean it didn't work? Meaning it didn't work for her. So the encounter in and of itself wasn't genuine because you're just looking at the person. You already deem him, you don't like him for him. You already deem him below you. So in your mind, you're like, first of all, in your mind, in the woman's mind, that thing she's settling, she's like, okay, he can't stay at the level that he's at. He needs to work his way up. Now the problem is, if a man does happen to work his way up, and you happen to be around, you still got to understand if he's working his way up, that a man working his way up and increasing his money opportunities, it opens up the dating market for him. You know what I mean? But when they talk about, oh, there's no reward for loving men at their lowest, how is it even love in the first place if you're just looking at him like, oh, he can't really do anything for me, that's why I'm just settling for you right now, and hopefully you can get your way, you can work your way out so I can actually treat you like you should be treated. So she's already, women that think that way, they're already going into the relationship with disingenuous intentions, and they complain about the results that they get if a man happens to work his way out of what you helped him work his way out of. So I'll give you an example of this. Women that date lawyers in training, right? Like, hey man, listen, there's so many women I know like that. I always be like, so why don't, I mean, you could date like a woman, like what happens is I always question, would you like him, would you love him if he worked at, McDonald's, or would you love him if he was, training to be an Amazon driver or anything? They'll just be like, what do you mean by that? But what's interesting is, if you're a person, if you're a man, and she finds out you're in college, or meaning this, you're in training to get a job that's going to get a lot of money, then all of a sudden they're willing to help you pay for school and stuff like that. They're willing to help you pay for all these things, even though your habits as a woman, you usually don't do stuff like this. But because he's going to be a lawyer, now you're willing to invest in him, quote unquote. Even though in your last relationship, the guy was a truck driver and you didn't want to. Because I already know plenty of women. I've known plenty of women that gave men their first truck, and the man is still with them today just because they paid for they just helped him with the truck, which probably was a one time investment of like a G, right, $1,000 or even less, or whatever CDL class they had to pay for. She helped him with that, or a cooking class to help him be a whatever, or coding class. But I'll take the trucking part example. There are so many men I know where their women actually helped them finance like their first like truck or whatever courses they needed to take to get a CDL A, right, for to drive a truck, and they're still with a woman to this day, and they always mention, oh, she helped me with my truck. There are so many women out here that are dating with very disingenuous intentions, meaning quote unquote loving a man at his lowest, but they're looking for something. They're looking for something for themselves out of it. It's disingenuous because if you like him, if you actually like him for him, you're just going to follow him. That's it. No matter what avenue he decides, if you actually like him for him, you're gonna follow him whatever he decides to do. You're just gonna be like, I got you. I got your back. That's it. I got your six. Wherever you go, I got your six. And just make sure that you don't do anything stupid, and then maybe I'll say something in terms of if like a scammer comes along and say, hey, I could take your money and I could take your 100 and make it into $1,000 in one day. And then maybe you say something. But for the most part, whatever career path he decides, I got your back. I like you for you. So wherever you go, I got you. I got your back. And we're in this together. But this whole thing about, if you don't love men at their lowest, because once you build them up, they're gonna leave you. And because I notice it happens to a lot of women that'll quote unquote date lawyers and help them pay for their tuition and whatnot. And when I see stuff like that, and then I'll ask the woman, so before you dated him, did you ever even pay with the last guy you dated? Did you even pay for dinner, lunch? And they'll just be like, it's the same thing when you look at the Tinder swindler, right? Right. The reason why that kind of fascinated a lot of men, and women don't even realize how much the Tinder swindler story actually red pilled a lot of men, that they have no idea that they red pilled. Right? Because in that case, you had women giving a man money just because he basically perpetrated a lifestyle that he was a millionaire and all this stuff. He was a son of a millionaire and a billionaire. And because it seemed to them that he had that lifestyle, he would ask for exorbitant, like crazy amount of money. We're talking about 25 G's, 50 G's, signing loans for this and this. But because he perpetrated a lifestyle, they were willing to sign off of crazy money. Yet we already know the reason why that probably red pilled a lot of men, because we already know those same women that he targeted, right? The women that he targeted, they weren't some young chicks. Those are 30-year-olds. These were women in their mid 30s, early 30s, women with quote unquote careers and all this stuff. They had money. Or sorry, they're quote unquote not young and naive and gullible. They're quote unquote adults, right? Yet these are the same women talking about, oh, I don't do 50-50. I don't do this. I'm not going to pay for this date and blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, you're giving a millionaire, a self-proclaimed millionaire, 25 G's, signing off of loans of 50 G's, wiping out their whole entire bank account. Because at the end of the day, they're looking at it like, okay, if I'm putting this in him, he's a millionaire. I'm obviously going to get something back out of it. It's disingenuous. They don't like the Tinder swindler for him. They're looking at the lifestyle. They're like, oh, eventually, I'm going to get something out of this. Disingenuous intentions. So right here. So this is why a lot of women get burned. Because I think if your intentions are disingenuous, I think eventually, especially if you're a normie chick and you think you're going to get away with, oh, I like him for his potential. Women will say stuff like that. In the reality is, whatever field that your guy is going to, if you like him, it doesn't matter what field he chooses. If you believe in him, you believe in him. That's it. No matter what field he decides, if you believe in him, you believe in him 100%. But you only believe in him if he decides to be a doctor or he decides to be a lawyer. Then, I'm gonna put in. Now I'm gonna help you pay for stuff. It's the complete 180. Because if he decides to be a trucker, or he decides to be a mailman, or he decides to be a trainer or whatever, and he just needs money for some gas here and there, they want to even they wouldn't even like women like if her intentions aren't genuine, she won't even volunteer to help even pay for the gas from time to time. You know what I mean? But then do a complete 180 when she finds a man that thinks he's about to earn a certain amount of money because of the career that he chooses. That's disingenuous. If you're a person that doesn't pay, don't pay at all. Just be like that with the rest of your relationships. But we already know, depending on who they are, well, we got this thing with this conditional femininity, right? It's only if you do this or that, oh, then I'm gonna decide to be feminine. No. Because if you're walking that way, that's a disingenuous spirit. You think people can't pick up on stuff like that, right? That's disingenuous. So right here. So the top comment says, "What the hell is Paris talking about?" No, what Paris is talking about is real. She said love shouldn't come with a reward. If you like him, or if you actually love him, or if you have options as a woman, since they claim to be, if you actually have love for the man, even if he breaks up with you, you should already be happy for him. You should be happy for him. Just be like, hey man, I enjoy the time that we had together. I don't feel like I've been used because I have love for you. Or when you're actually in love with a man, or if you're in love with a woman, but specifically when we're talking about a woman in love with a man, if it's genuine, you're not even looking for a come up. You just want to be able to be with him and have his back through thick and thin. But if you're just looking for, oh, I need a reward out of this, that's not love. That's not love. You know what I mean? So, and like I said, I don't want people to go at Paris for bringing up love because she wasn't the one that brought it up. The woman on top did. Talking about there's no reward for loving men at their lowest. If you're already looking for a reward, what reward are you looking for loving, quote unquote loving? That means you're not even looking to love that man. You were just looking for something for yourself in exchange for quote unquote loving the man. So in exchange for you playing your part, underline playing the part, you wanted a reward for it. This is why we might as well just bring back arranged marriages and arranged situations back, because there's so many women that'll do this. They'll do things their way. They're trying to finesse on the low, so they'll be like, "Oh, I like you for you," even though you're about to. She knows that you're studying to become a lawyer, and she already knows if I stick this out for 5-10 years, okay, then he's gonna get his lawyer license. Then he's gonna get this money, and then I'm gonna get married. Then I'm gonna get some of that money. That's not love. And I'm just saying, if I think men pick up on it. I think men pick up on that. And this is what this is in, because she's planning a long-term finesse. I think men pick up on that and they'll just be like, okay, since she's kind of using me on that, I'll just let her play that role and I'll just use her right back. you know? And then when he gets on his feet, then he leaves. Because if you're actually showing real loyalty, if you show real loyalty and real principle, even if things don't work out, he'll look out for you financially. That's my opinion. If your intentions are genuine, even if things don't work out, he will give you he will look out for you. Trust me. In most cases, I would say in most cases, unless if you're dealing with a diabolically evil man, and then you even have to question yourself as a girl or as a woman, what is it about me that's attracting such a diabolically evil man? You know what I mean? So also let's check, because we got her Twitter username right here. We got her username. What is it? Olas TV 01. Let's check out her profile. Not to harass her. I just want to see, because if you're making a tweet like this, okay, I'm already this she's already a red flag. This is why she's a red flag to me already. Already she has a soccer player as her background. And we already know why. That's the dream goal. Because I believe if you're dealing, I believe when you're dealing with a woman that's, yeah, I'm looking at her tweets, a lot of man hating stuff. Here we go. Yeah, we're dealing with somebody. Yeah. Dear soft life, we are coming and we are married and we are many. Yeah, it's time now. She's looking for soft life now that the summer's over. Interesting, but anyways. Oh man, so shout out to these comments right here. Said prostitution is ruining the brain. Facts. Somebody said, why can't it come with a reward since it comes with so many lessons? But like I said, that's disingenuous. That's disingenuous. But I always say this: what should have woke up many men and really people in general, or what kind of time demon time women are on, especially when you talk about BWs and including African women, even non FBA women, they're on that same demon time as well. What should have waken up many people, just in general, is the Simone Biles Jonathan Owens situation. When Jonathan Owens came on the podcast and he said, I didn't really know who she was. I could not believe people took that part and ran with it and acted like he was disrespecting her. No. He was trying to emphasize. Okay, how about this? Let me give you this. Say if he was lying about that, why would he lie about it? Let's take you bird brain females out here that was ripping on Jonathan Owens. Fine, let's take your word at it. He was lying about it. Why was he lying about it? Why? Why would he do that? To diminish her? No. Because in his mind, he knows, okay, I've been with her for a while. Now I'm starting to see the impact. I know how successful she is. When they see men like that with a Simone Biles, what do people automatically think? Oh, this guy's a pookie, or he's trying to just lay up under her. No, he's trying to emphasize, I didn't know really who she was. He's trying to say, I like her for her, not for her accomplishments. That's all he was trying to say. He was trying to say, I like her for her, not for what she did on the gymnastics stuff. Now, what it really should have shown you that women don't understand what that means to like somebody for actually who they are. Because it was clear to me what he was saying. He was just trying to say, I like her for her, even though he could be lying about that. He could be lying about that, but nobody has even brought that up because woman took, he doesn't respect the accomplishments, blah, blah. Because no, that's how you date. As a woman, that's what women, that's how women date. When it comes to men, it's either we're attracted to you or we're not, or there's something about you that overrides the attraction that makes us even more attracted to you anyways. So we like women for them. So when we like a woman for real, we like them for them. If they lose their job, it's fine. We like them for them. Women don't know how to like men for just them. The man has to always be providing something, whether it's his looks, his genetics, his money, etc., D game, etc. You pull that away, she's leaving, or she's just not interested at all. That really should have woken up a lot of men, but you know, that's just me on that. That's just me on that on that.